right? You don't want to save the 50 cents.
I would pay 50 cents extra for this beer.
I think I have one more of these left, and I would be very happy to
There
drink
you
it
go.
again.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Oktoberfest, week 2. Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
And I'm ready.
He's ready. He is ready for a beer. Looks thirsty over there, by
Courtesy of Dolan, we've got another Oktoberfest beer from Missouri.
You know, I gotta say, and this is probably true. I'm just guessing that this is true for you, Dolan, but there's always some anticipation when you are the one that brings the beer to the episode. Sometimes we get beers sent to us, and we don't know what to expect. There's no real, and nothing's hanging on you personally.
Right.
But if you bring a beer and it's not great, then the pressure's on right now. So let's hope you did something good for us.
Well, I gave one to our director of IT.
Yeah.
And he seems to like it. So.
He's had a beer or two before, I think.
So he claims to be a Viking.
Oh.
Which he's not. He's actually French.
What?
He found this
Even
out.
with the Danish last name?
Yeah, he found this out. Well, he's adopted.
Oh, okay.
And so that was his backstory for years.
He was
and
a
years.
Viking.
He was a Viking.
He was a small Viking.
Oh, he wanted to be a Viking so
Yeah.
bad. And when that 23andMe or whatever
Yeah,
it was
it
came
crushed him.
back, that he was a frog. Then
He had a
was
baguette
just-
and a little cigarette on a long stick. Ugh.
He was so mad.
That was recent.
So yeah, it was.
It's like within the year.
So
yeah.
he went from Viking to mime.
Yeah, unfortunate.
sad.
That's unfortunate.
That would make you want to drink a beer.
I apologize if there are any French folks that are listening to the show, but yeah,
I'm French.
you're not.
You've got everything. I've got
yeah,
everything.
well, that's true.
He's got all of them in there somehow.
My family originates, my Delano side originates from Luxembourg. So,
Well,
There you go.
is Luxembourg in France?
well, it's
It was like a French province or something, wasn't it?
it's a city now that it's its own country.
Like an individual city-state or something.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't know.
So I'm Lux, but I mean, it's France.
I'm telling you what, every time we have a beer from someplace, Dolan's got some family connection
Yes.
to these countries. And that's
Exactly.
great. Good for you.
No, right? Yeah,
I'm boring. I'm German, so
I'm German, Polish, and Czech. There's not a whole.
good.
Yeah,
those
so
are
there's
beer countries, my man.
that is beer country.
Hey, look, National Mutt Day was exciting for me too.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, so from Springfield Brewing Company, we have Mayhem Marzen, which won the Great American Beer Fest silver medal in, I can't even read this type.
2018.
Is that what it is? 2018?
Yes.
Same year that Cross Train won, 2018.
2014,
IPA.
they won the gold medal at the World Beer Cup.
Get out. For this beer?
With this one?
That's what my research showed.
So this should be legit. It should be German, different than last week, not American style, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
let me pop another one in there because they've been around a long time.
Okay.
11
That's what it looks like, 2011 from
silver
No.
at the Great American Beer Fest.
Whoa. 97.
Okay, so then it was 2001.
Okay.
They won the silver for this beer.
No way.
So they've over a decade have won different medals for this beer.
Consistency.
Yeah.
This one beer.
Yeah.
This beer right here.
Mayhem Marzen.
Well, I did not know that before I brought it to you guys, so that
It smells, okay, first of all, it smells different than last week. It's way more,
It's definitely darker. This is what
It's
some people would say is
way-
a dark beer.
but it's
You know
not.
what I mean?
But it's
not a stout or porter, but it's definitely, if you pour that in a glass and you're used to drinking Budweiser, it's almost red.
yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
yeah, brownish
Like
red.
A red ale kind of.
Yeah, you want to pass that bottle opener?
Oh, yeah. Thought you were just going to use your teeth.
I'm just gonna watch you drink it.
I've seen a guy do that with his teeth before.
Oh,
And
no.
I've also seen a guy use his eye socket.
No.
Yeah. Closed his eye and put it in there.
Get out of here.
No, I've seen that.
Like he's using
No.
his what do you
orbital
call it?
bone
The
or
orbital
whatever.
bone?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh, I've seen like a butter knife where they put it up underneath the cap and then they just slam it on the table.
Yeah.
And
oh boy.
Oh, look at that! I
Look
spilled.
who
rich
spilled
right
this
there.
time, right?
Oh man.
Yeah, you should do that with the cap on. I've seen lighter. My buddy knows how to do it with the lighter
yeah.
real easily.
Yeah.
You just got to put a little pressure on it.
I have none
You
of
know,
those skills.
also
none
could
of
do
those.
that. Aaron Daly.
Really?
He could open a bottle with anything. I'm pretty sure. I don't know that's fact. I've never seen him. But I just know enough about him to know that you could give him a paper clip.
Mm-hmm.
He's like MacGyver. A rubber band, like some bubble gum. He'd open this.
He's next level beer drinker though. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really work out of a bottle.
That was
doesn't.
more of an instrumentation. Ooh, that's maltier, less sweet.
Very malty.
Still delicious.
It hits you in a different part of
It does. It's not
gets
so
you
much
in-
on the front of your tongue. It's in the throat.
It's in the back, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good too.
man.
The last week's,
Yes.
I wanted a big pour.
Uh-huh.
And this one, I also want a big pour.
See, this goes back to your. I think I was listening to one of our podcasts just recently.
Yeah.
And you talk about the giant steins. like
Yeah.
the big, and how, like, we think we're good beer drinkers.
Yeah.
And, like, they're drinking these big honking.
Big steins.
Yes. How they're not just hammered.
Yeah, luck.
I
persistence,
guess.
practice.
And
You
this
know,
is,
it's like training to be an Olympic athlete. You really got to put time in for it, and I'm willing.
I would do it. This is only 5%.
Oh yeah, then you could drink a big stein.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this one's less than last week's.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it make you feel super full though? Like, wouldn't you feel?
I would
it'd be
think
like,
on these, yeah,
like,
because they're kind of bready.
Yeah. I
But
don't know.
we'll have to, we'll trial and error and see what happens.
So Springfield, Missouri, Springfield Brewing Company is located in Springfield, Missouri at 305 South Market Avenue. It doesn't look like, or maybe they're back to pre-COVID hours that they're open. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 to 8.
11.
11 to 8.
I will say when I was just in there in August. That's when I got this beer.
Yep.
They're open regular hours, but they have a ton of COVID regulations.
Regulations and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's one better than that. Saturday, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 8. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like to drink
Football.
beer.
Yeah.
But
Maybe they got like breakfast food truck or something.
well, maybe.
Well, guess what? They make brunch.
Oh.
I have notes.
They
about
have
this.
the best duck gravy ever.
Duck.
Duck fat gravy.
Oh.
Yeah, yep. So I imagine they put that all over their breakfast foods. I don't know.
Wow.
Well, if they don't, they should. It sounds like. Mm-hmm. Did you say founded in 1997?
1997.
English, German, American style ales and lagers. So similar to last week's.
Yeah.
Not like hazy IPAs or tart sour stuff coming out of here probably so
Right.
much as more as this sort of traditional stuff.
Yep.
Which is, I think, sometimes real fun to revisit, because
Yeah.
a lot of times at least for me, we're stuck with those, what's popular and what's close to my house, which is
True.
IPAs and coconut stouts and that sort of thing. So it's kind of fun to just go back to these clean beers every once in a while. So you mentioned the duck fat, Dolan.
Yeah.
I wrote down in my notes some of the appetizers that they have available at this place because the food here just looked dynamite.
It is.
Beer pretzels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I ate so many of those.
And it says pale ale, duck fat, beer mustard.
Oh yes, so good. You wouldn't like it, Brian.
No, I wouldn't
No,
until
you
I
wouldn't.
got the mustard seeds in there.
I think you need to expand your horizons a bit.
I've tried it. I just don't like it.
Okay.
But here's what I would like: the smoked cheddar fondue.
Yes.
I also had that. Oh my gosh, so good.
Let me find one you didn't have. Pork rind nachos.
I did not have those.
Okay, wait a minute.
That sounds amazing, especially their spicy pork rinds.
Oh, man.
This place has mussels as an appetizer. What?
Weird.
Then they had this crowler canned chicken. So beer can chicken.
Yeah.
Well, let's pump it up. Let's give it a crowler.
Growler.
And then this one, 3 is Company, a 3 cheese like grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh.
Which some people like a grilled cheese.
That's my wife's jam right there. Hey, we will go to a new place.
You
She'll be
try
like,
that?
I really want to go to this new restaurant. They have whatever. And then she gets there and we're like, oh, give me the grilled cheese sandwich. This is a brand new restaurant. Like, we've never eaten here.
Well, I got to see how they toast the bread. I hope
Okay.
she listens to this one.
She does not.
Oh, bummer. My wife is that way with mac and cheese.
Oh.
So anywhere we go, especially if it's like a lobster mac and cheese or something, like
And this
what
has
she's
the best
ordering.
mac and cheese. It does. I mean, like,
dude.
Did you just eat here every day? Or did you
This
just,
is a food
did
town.
you just stay
sounds like.
here?
well, I mean, it's right next to the college. So I assume that's why. I mean, it's not right next to, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why they open at 9 a.m. I mean, I have to assume, right?
Sure.
And they just have, their food is uppity. I would say uppity.
Like kind of fancy.
Yeah, kind of fancy. Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, the mac and cheese there's like $15 or something. Yeah. But it's so good.
Is it the kind that you eat it and you're like, you feel sick halfway through? It's so rich. That's the best.
But then
Yep.
you finish it because...
Yeah, you have to. It won't be good warmed up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's what they got for the brunch items I wrote down.
Okay.
They have a breakfast burrito. They have breakfast pizza, which already I'm in.
Yep.
I love breakfast pizza.
Yes.
They make biscuits with the gravy that he was talking about.
Yep.
They have their own oatmeal that they make. Then here's some of the other things they make that aren't beer. So if you're not a beer person and you're in this town, they have their own ciders. They make coffee, and they will spike it with some whiskey at the
Okay.
brunch. So coffee and whiskey, Bloody Marys, mimosas, and then they have a house-made root beer that they also do.
Yeah, I did see that when I was there.
And then you can make, from what I saw on their spot, on their website, you can make reservations online up to 15 people for a group or a party or whatever.
Yep.
So you, especially nowadays, you want to make sure you aren't standing in line, or whatever. So you just get online, put in your name, put in the time you want to be there.
Yep.
They have a whole thing online set up for that. One time, I guess it would have been New Year's Eve day 2 years ago. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
And I was there to go see the Avett Brothers. My wife gave me this for a birthday present when I turned 40. And they have a concert every year on New Year's Eve in Charlotte, North Carolina. This was a 3-night show. We went to one of the nights. The morning of the show, we went to this brewery, and I can't remember it, but I have a hat from them, and it's purple.
Imagine that.
But it was a brewery that had brunch.
Okay.
And oh my God, was amazing. I mean, to have a flight of beers and then some, like a chef guy making omelets.
No.
And they had like candied bacon, like brown sugared bacon and like biscuits and gravy, because it was in North Carolina, so they had a lot of southern stuff. And I ate that and we drank those beers, and by like noon, I was like, I gotta have a nap. Like, this is it. I'm done. KO. And it was so good.
Oh, man.
So, if you can get to a brunch place that's a brewery, do it. Do it.
That sounds like heaven. I mean, that's at that point, then, like, your life's over. Like, okay.
I love breakfast, but as you know, it's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass to make at home.
Yeah.
You're using every utensil and every pan in the kitchen
Yeah.
to keep it hot at the same time. And, it's a pain. I gladly pay somebody to make breakfast. And to get some beers or whatever, Bloody Marys, mimosas,
Along with it.
do it. Definitely do it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've talked about it before, but their buffalo mac and cheese, so good. And I had it
This
when I was
is the
down
place?
there. This is
This
the place.
is the place that made that?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I know how good their mac and cheese is.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So
but-
we've heard more about the mac and cheese than we have their beers.
True.
Yes.
Even
Yep.
though this beer specifically has won a bunch of awards.
I really, really enjoy this beer a lot.
Yeah.
Like, as Oktoberfest go, I would order this maybe over a number of other ones that
Yeah.
I've had over the years.
The biggest difference is less sweetness, more malty.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
it goes with like fall foods, man. Like, I think this is the one I saw that talked about pairing it with a bunch of stuff. It says pairs with foods like Mexican foods, Thai, even Cajun, spicy andouille sausage, that sort of stuff. Like it
yeah.
kind of cuts
I could
through
see
that stuff and it complements it in a way that malty flavor is really good pairing device.
Yes.
Speaking of Mexican food, they have like really good salsa too, man. Like their chef is just killing it.
Wow.
I mean,
That is kind of the place for chefs nowadays. It seems like is to like show off their stuff is in breweries.
Yeah.
You know, do the stuff that you want to do and like from scratch everything scratch made stuff.
I mean, that is true. Like if you go to a fancy restaurant, you're ordering, the chicken or the steak and the, the asparagus and the mashed potato or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you want just like a good dinner. But when you go to breweries, like you're getting the pretzels, you're getting the, chips and salsa,
all sorts of
the
yeah.
brew burgers, the, just different things like that.
The other thing I think is interesting is that a lot of restaurants nowadays are chains, right? Mm-hmm. You can go to the same place in city after city, but in breweries, you don't get that, There's not, even if it's a chain brewery, you're talking maybe 2 locations or 3 across the country. So someplace like this that has food, it's going to be unique and worth a shot.
And they're always throwing their own beer in the food,
stuff, yeah.
right?
Like,
Like,
of course.
Yeah,
like,
beer cheese,
Of
and
course.
French onion soup, stuff like that.
yeah, their beer in like the crust of the pizza and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So while you were there, Dolan, here's my tie-in, my research tie-in. And it ties with food, which is amazing.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Do you know what the dish of the city is?
Ooh, if I had to guess, well, I don't know. I went to very specific places,
Uh-huh.
so I want to guess that it's something Asian.
Yeah, you're on the path.
Weird.
Yeah, because there are so many Asian restaurants. I mean,
Really?
like you drive down the road and you pass 3 Asian restaurants: Chinese, Japanese, Korean. I don't know what the story is behind that, but I'd like to know.
Well, here's what I got for you. The dish of the city. This is Springfield's. This is it. The official plate of food.
Yeah.
Cashew chicken.
Oh, you know what? I knew that. So when I was down there, I was with my band, and we were working with a producer, and he like took us for a tour on Springfield. He talked about John C. Hammond's. He like pretty much put up every building around the college there. Everything's named after him. John C. Hammond, John C. Hammond's. And he did tell us that the thing to get in Springfield was cashew chicken.
Here's where it comes from. Here's why. 1963, there's this place called Grove's Supper Club. Now, supper clubs used to be a thing in the late 50s and 60s, where liquor licenses were a little bit different back then. You also hear it called a bottle club,
Okay.
where you basically bring your own alcohol to the restaurant, right? So that's what this is.
Right.
McDonald's was a supper club before it became the fast food giant that it was. This dish, the cashew chicken there, was so popular, the guy that made it, like the chef, started his own restaurant, which is still there, and it's called Leong's Tea House.
Huh.
So if you go there into Springfield, you can find this. They have a year, like an event every year. It's like a fundraiser for the city or the town, and it's this Sertoma Cashew Craze. So everybody's making their own version of this thing, and that's what put it on the map was this one plate of food from this one guy.
Really?
And a lot of other places took over from there.
And they're very like prideful of Route 66 going right through there. So I'm sure they had a lot of traffic,
Especially, back then, because that was pre-interstate, really. So, and then I wrote down a pretty good list of other breweries or places to get, like craft booze, basically.
Okay.
Because there's a lot in this town. I did not know this. 4x4 Brewing Company.
Oh, I have a story about that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me get the list and you tell us the story.
Okay.
7 Seas Winery and Meadery. So there you go.
Interesting.
Great Escape Beer Works. Oh, boy. Okay. I was like, what? My handwriting is a little sketchy. And the brewing place is called Hold Fast Brewing.
Oh.
But my note looks like Hold Fart. So it's Hold Fast Brewing, Prehistoric Brewing Company, Spring Branch Kombucha.
Haven't we had prehistoric? Have we?
I don't know.
That
Let
came
me-
from Arkansas. That
Oh, that's
That
right.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that's not it.
Show Me Brewing, Missouri Ridge Distillery, and Bub's Distillery. So that's, 8 that aren't this one, and that's not the other place that we had a beer from.
Mothers.
Yeah. So that's 10
Wow.
in Springfield. of place-
Springfield, Missouri.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the colleges. There's like what seven colleges in that town.
Yeah.
Holy
It's-
cow. I've never been there.
I bookmarked this because I ran across it as my other computer was failing me today. This one did.
Okay.
There's also a disproportionate number of churches in Springfield, Missouri.
So there's more than normal?
There's more than normal. So as you go through, there's 54 Chinese restaurants in Missouri, in Springfield, Missouri.
54.
54.
Wow.
There are 238 churches.
Whoa.
Wow. I mean, it is south. It is South
True.
Missouri.
Yeah, true.
True.
It's almost in the Bible Belt, I suppose,
Yeah.
right? Is there a big Asian population in Springfield, Missouri? What's the reason for the Chinese food?
See, that's why I was so confused because
know.
I didn't notice a big Asian population. I mean, even when we went and ate at a few of them, and nobody there working was Asian. So
It's usually how it is, at least
Maybe.
here, a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah. So there's one Chinese restaurant per 3,000 residents of Springfield.
That's awesome.
That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And that's
that
in
doesn't-
50 years. Because
and-
that cashew chicken was in 63.
Yeah.
So, 57 years.
and that's only Chinese. Like that doesn't count. Like because I mean, we ate it at Japanese sushi restaurant. There was a couple Korean barbecues.
Oh, wow.
That's only Chinese.
So the article I read, it was from the Springfield newspaper. It was kind of funny. So the guy that wrote it, I assume it's a guy. Let's make sure. Steve Pocken. Yeah. So the guy ended his article with, "Pass me a spring roll, brother," and amen.
That is awesome.
So churches and Chinese food. I
Churches and
guess.
Chinese.
Yeah, I mean, wow. So that 4x4, right? That's 4x4.
Yeah, 4x4 Brewing Company.
brewing.
Yep.
Now I've never had 4x4 brewing.
Okay.
In fact, they wouldn't let me have it at like 3 or 4 different places.
Why?
But the first time I tried to order it, I said, "Hey, how good's that? X beer." I don't even remember what it was. X beer from 4x4. And the person said, "Oh, you don't want that. You want this." And they would give me something else, and it wasn't even local. Right? So then I went to a pizza place, and the same thing. "Hey, how's this?" It was a watermelon craft cider,
Oh.
and it was super interesting. It was
Okay.
like watermelon mint or something.
Ooh, that's a great combination, by the way.
And super interesting. And I'm like, "Hey, I want something local. The only thing I'm seeing local is this watermelon mint cider. Can I get it?" And the guy said, "Dude, you don't want anything from this place."
What?
Yeah. And so
So why do they carry it?
to go on, I don't know. To go on, we went and got tacos from a place. And there was another 4x4 brew that I literally looked at my bandmates and I was like, "I'm going to see what they say." Like, "Hey, how good is this? How good is this?" And they're like, "Nah, you want this." So I don't know what the story is. I've never had it, so I don't have my own opinion of it.
But
I
you
went
couldn't
to
get it.
I went to 3 places and they detoured me away
They
from
all
it.
suggestive sold something else.
I think we need to
Yeah.
have this beer
So
now.
now we
Yeah.
have to have it just to see.
that watermelon mint thing sounds pretty
Yeah.
good.
It was a
Yeah.
craft cider. So
I'm going to text Aaron as soon as we're done here
Yeah.
and see what we can get.
and I told him, I was like, "No, I really want to try something local. I want to try that watermelon mint." And he's like, "Dude, if you want to waste your money, go ahead."
Whoa.
And I'm like, this guy is stopping me from a sale. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? At their place during
Yeah.
a pandemic.
Weird.
You know what I mean? So
And they carry it. I mean, it's there on purpose. It's
Yeah.
not like it just accidentally showed up.
Now, to be fair, I have deterred people that I've been eating lunch with from ordering a certain beer here in Omaha that I know isn't very good. However,
Yeah, but you don't work there.
I don't work there.
yeah.
I'll
Well,
just-
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, and like I said, we didn't ever go, and I didn't ever have it. So that's not my opinion. That was the opinion of 3 locals
That work there.
Weird.
that worked there. Yeah.
So I guess I have a similar story. So I was in high school, a senior in high school,
Okay.
and I worked at the mall at the music store. I don't even remember what it was called at this point. It was in
Music
Lincoln.
Land?
It was like Sam Goody maybe or
Sam
something
Goody,
like that.
yeah.
And I was, as I still am now, a big music person. But back then I was buying physical CDs all the time because that's what you did in the 90s.
Yeah.
People would come in and they'd be looking for stuff. And that was my favorite part of the job, was helping them find what they were looking for. Mm-hmm. And then I would see what they were looking for, and I would be like, if you just drive down 2 blocks and you go to Best Buy, you can get it for $6 cheaper. Because our CDs are $18.99, and if you go to Best Buy, you can get it for $11.99.
Yeah.
And that was, I didn't work there very long. But I guess I understand that, but
Sure.
not the beer thing.
You never deterred someone from like, look, I really want the new Red Man CD.
The big CDs when I worked there that came out was Hello Nasty by Beastie Boys.
Okay, yeah.
And then the Bare Naked Ladies one that had 1 week on it. And then Eagle Eyed Cherry, Save Tonight. So this must have been like 97 or so, around that time frame. I don't think I ever, I never slapped a CD out of anybody's hand or anything like that. But I definitely told multiple people to go on down the street and get it at Best Buy. It'd be a lot cheaper.
Let's see, this would have been 90s. It had been 97. Probably No. It had been Christmas 96.
Okay.
I took a part-time job working at Musicland at the mall in Manhattan, Kansas.
Yeah.
And that was when the new Red Man CD came out. That's why I said Red Man.
Right.
And I am not a huge fan of what rap has become.
Sure.
So I would really try to deter people from. But a scrawny white guy trying to deter someone from buying the new Red Man CD did not work very well.
So they sold hand over fist.
I stocked a lot of those CDs.
Yeah. I mean, that was back in the day when like the top 10 CDs were selling millions of copies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
Way
we're at a
different
time
than
when
now.
vinyl is outselling CDs.
Which
right?
tells you that they're not selling any CDs.
No, not at all.
So when I managed a gas station,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Here-
You don't want that on the roller. It's been there 2 days.
Yeah, don't.
most Midwesterns will know it as Casey's.
Famous for pizza.
Great breakfast pizza, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I've
I
had
worked
it.
there for over 2 years, and I still get the breakfast pizza some days. But anyways, I used to deter people from buying the Swisher Sweets.
Oh yeah, I've had a few of those in my day.
Okay, don't you know they're not buying them? They're buying them to make blunts. Right?
I know what they're. I know what they're.
Okay.
I was in
What?
college. I was in college.
I never did that.
Never.
But yeah, they would. We sold them for, I think it was like $1.40 or something weird like that. It was super expensive.
What about the Black and Milds?
Those were expensive too. It was like $1.50, $1.70 for one of them. Yeah. And so we were expensive. I mean, they still are. So if you go to any other place, they sell them for 99 cents.
Yeah.
I mean, we were selling these things for $1.40, and they had the 99-cent print on the package.
That seems illegal, but whatever.
Right.
A little markup, never hurt nobody.
Never heard
So,
anyone.
and they just, I mean, it was the closest gas station. People would still buy them, but I would try to tour as many people as I could. I'm like, dude, I see you coming here 3 times a day to buy.
Yeah, you could
First
save
of all,
yourself some
why don't
money.
you just buy 5 packs right away, so you
Right.
never have to come in here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as blazed as you are.
By the 3rd time, you have to take their wallet out of their pocket for them, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, they forgot what they're there for.
Yeah. And the other thing is like, man, that is a lot of money. Like,
Yeah.
that is a lot of money.
Apparently, you don't care at that point.
I guess you don't care,
Nope.
right? You don't want to save the 50 cents.
I would pay 50 cents extra for this beer.
I think I have one more of these left, and I would be very happy to
There
drink
you
it
go.
again. So, last little bit of research I had on these
Okay.
guys, and I couldn't find the whole story, but if you go to their website, it tells our story.
Okay.
And they started in '97 when a company called Paul Mueller, the Paul Mueller Company, purchased the building and built kind of what they had.
Okay.
In 2011, Ashton Lewis, who was the brewmaster, got together with some of his friends and bought it.
Oh, okay.
So there was a buyout at some point, which I'm very familiar with. I love that kind of like, so at some point they weren't making it, they were gonna close, whatever.
Yeah.
Head brewmaster says, you know what, I'm gonna give this a shot.
You know what's cool is that they won one of those medals before that,
Before that.
and then somebody else came in and won a couple more.
Yeah.
But maybe they kept some people on or something, or the recipes were there, but that's kind of odd, I would think.
It seems like though they've introduced the menu after
The food stuff?
2011. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might have helped them out during the way. So it was their, it says on their website, it was their mission to continue creating award-winning craft brews and working to perfect the menu. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling that guy and one of the close friends ended up being the chef.
Yeah, could
Or
be.
knew the chef and
Had some recommendations or something like that.
right. So from
I want to
business
go to this
standpoint-
town. I have never been to Springfield.
Oh, I haven't either.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of cool history about Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of cool restaurants in Springfield.
Yeah.
The
Breweries
col-
and all that stuff we know about.
The campus is really cool. But honestly,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would only go to Springfield again to go to the producer because it's not pretty by any means.
okay.
There's like no lakes around. You have to drive like far away. I mean, the camping spots, there was like 0 camping spots. We had to go to this overpriced KOA.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the KOA was nice. I won't dog on that, but it wasn't a town that's, unless you knew the history behind it or if you're going there for a specific thing, it's definitely not
Not
like
your
a
vacation
spot.
Yeah.
No. It'd be a pretty cool town to live in, probably, because it's cheap and there's a lot of things there.
Yeah.
But
But you're not going there on purpose unless you're recording an album.
unless you're
with your
recording
cool
an
band.
album or going to a brewery, because there's a lot of them there.
I mean, maybe just a brewery trip weekend.
Or going to church and eating some Chinese food.
At the same time.
I guess. What any Simpsons references at all? Anything at all?
No,
No?
because
They knew they lost.
yeah, you remember which
It was like Vermont or Connecticut or some
West Virginia? Was it
Something like that.
West Virginia?
Nah, I thought
It wasn't Oregon, which everybody thought we were going to, or even Illinois.
Yeah,
Or
I thought it was
Illinois, yeah.
northeast. I thought
Yeah.
it was up northeast.
I'm gonna Google that real quick.
So I will look up the Untapped here.
Okay.
So slightly more than last week.
So 2,000?
Slightly more, just under 2,000. 1,713.
That's still pretty low.
It's still pretty low
For a beer they made for 10 years
for
almost?
that long. But is there distribution as much? I don't.
Probably none,
Yeah.
maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. So okay. So 1,713 check-ins. What do you say?
I'm going to go 3.66.
Let's go 3.8.
3.55.
Oh,
That's really low.
Really low
For a silver medal winning beer?
It's
Wow.
pathetically low. Like, I don't know if I've ever been angry about a check-in, like
I'm sure you have.
score. Not like this, because this deserves better.
Yeah.
And even if you click on it, their weighted average from draft to bottle to taster is only 3.57. So their draft average is 3.63.
Yeah.
Their bottle average is 3.58. And their taster average is 3.76.
That's the highest
That's the highest. And
for a little bit. Man, I would like to get this on draft.
this makes me mad.
I will say, I don't think the beer is what makes their money.
Well, I'm guessing it's the food.
It's the food. So I'm assuming what's
More
happening.
foodie people are going than beer drinkers.
Sure.
Could be. I guess that could be.
Because if you're winning all these medals,
you should be. Yeah.
those are beer people,
Yeah.
judging the beer.
Right.
But
But they're not necessarily going to the
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a place here in Omaha that originates out of Lincoln that's very similar to that, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. What's it called here?
Laszlo's.
Laszlo's.
Oh, yes.
Empyrean.
Empyrean, who I will go there for the food because the beer's okay. Mm-hmm. It's just slightly better than average.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's better than other places around here that have food or whatever. But I look forward to their beer when I go. I look more forward to their food because I think their food is pretty
The
fantastic.
food is really good.
But they do have a pretty smacking peanut butter porter.
That's true. Peanut butter porter, the Fallen Angel.
Yeah.
That's really good. That one's great. They have a Oktoberfest right now that's really good.
Oh.
It's a Marzen style like this one, and you can get it here locally. I like it at Hy-Vee's, I think.
Can we do 2 months of Oktoberfest? Is that possible?
If we buy a bunch of them and don't drink them first, maybe we could stretch it out.
We
but-
can call it the Novemberfest.
Yeah. October 2.0 Fest. Yeah.
So I Googled what the real Springfield is, and actually, there's two answers. And both of them say that Matt Groening said this. The top one is Oregon, so it is the Oregon location.
Yeah.
I thought I read something that it was like northeast, but
I thought it was northeast too.
yeah. And then the other one is like, oh, it's not actually a Springfield, it's Lansing, Michigan. I don't know how true that is.
No, that's crap. That's just Lansing trying to like.
That's
hey, where's something?
It's like a Wikipedia page.
That's a Smithsonian magazine saying that, but then this other
they
one
might
is
know.
this other one's NPR. So I think I might
Both
trust.
trustworthy sources.
Yeah.
Weird.
So
Yeah, neither are fake news.
I have one magazine that comes to my house, and it's the Smithsonian magazine. Yes. Oh boy.
yeah. So
Nerd
Smithsonian
alert.
versus NPR. I don't know. Maybe Matt Groening wants it that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sadly, I have two. One is Entrepreneur Magazine.
Okay.
And the other is Cigar Aficionado.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't know if I would trust the latter, maybe
Yeah.
but who knows?
Breaking news: Cigar Aficionado says. Yeah.
They can tell you what kind of cohiba to.
That's
smoke,
right. Yeah.
but not
What celebrities drinking whiskey on the cover.
Oh.
this
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, my Sports Illustrator won't tell me anything.
Oh. All right. That sounds good.
All right, 2 more weeks of Oktoberfest. Brian's choice. I don't think I know. Okay, that's not true. I
We
know.
know.
I know what one of them is.
Oh.
I don't think I know what the other one is.
Well, you have them both, so
Ooh, that's true.
they're both sitting right over there. Actually,
One of them
Dylan's got 'em.
is like as German gets.
Yeah,
Right.
which I still have not had.
Oh man, and I have.
Okay.
I can't wait to get into it because it is completely different than
Really?
anything any kind of Oktoberfest that we've ever had. And then we're coming back to Omaha
Yep.
for the other one from Pint Nine from our
That's
friends
right,
at Pint Nine.
yeah.
So you like those guys?
I
Your
was talking.
father-in-law likes those guys.
I was talking to my sister this weekend about. I think that's my favorite brewery
Really?
in Nebraska.
Nine.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
You know,
super. It's
that
just
hurts
super.
my-
I know, but
it
it's
hurts my
super
heart.
drinkable.
Okay.
But also it's affordable.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I go through some beers, and like $8.99 for a 4-pack is more in my price range than some of the other places around town.
I've only had 2 of Pint Nine's beers, and it's the ones that they actually distribute to the stores. One was blue and one was green, maybe.
The Oso Cafe probably.
No, you probably had
Oh.
the IPAs,
Yep, I've had both the IPAs.
Cloud Jumper and
Cloud Jumper.
False Idol.
Yep, those are it. Cloud Jumper's the blue one.
I
Yeah.
have both of those in my fridge right now, as well as their Session Red.
Did you have OJ's Bronco?
Oh yeah, I had that.
I did not like that beer.
Yeah, I had
I was
that one.
not a fan.
What about the El Pastor?
No, okay, so I just sent you a picture of
Uh-huh.
that. That was delicious. So I had some
Right.
leftover pork. I took some pineapple, threw it in there, cooked it up, put it on some noodles. Had the Al Pastor, which is a smoked pineapple beer with the pineapple pork.
Are you kidding? Right?
Yeah, I could have died a happy man at that point.
They don't make that. They make that once a year. I wish I had any. I don't have any.
That was
They
my
don't
last
they're
one.
not making it
That
right
was
now.
my last one. There was no screwing around. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it was good.
You know, as many times I'm in that area to buy beer, I should just go in. I've never
Well,
been in.
Yeah, you can. You can check it out.
Arguably, the best beer in Nebraska is right next door. But
I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't argue that. But for it's we'll probably get more into it on
will.
the episode. But
Yeah.
it's a similar spot probably to the episode we did last week,
okay,
where they're more German American styles.
sure.
There's not a lot of like fruited sours or
Yeah, true.
hazy IPAs rolling out of this place.
Yeah.
It's more.
There's a
approachable
reason
for
why
that.
your father-in-law likes it so much, right? And I met the dude. I've actually drank beer with him.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why he likes it so much. It is very traditional.
Yep.
Versus maybe some of the other places
And
here in
that's
Omaha.
where we're maybe more willing to try something different.
Yep.
And you probably had it if you came down here for the Healthcare Traveler's Take in Omaha.
Yeah, true.
We had a little get together at Cross Train, and Pint Nine's right next door. And I know for a fact there was a few groups that went over.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So
from Germany back to Omaha,
Yeah.
we will round out Oktoberfest unless I somehow figure out how we can
Another
do-
way of sticking another month in there. Hey, it's 2020. Anything can happen.
We can do whatever
Hey.
we want.
That's right. At this
We can do
point,
2 per week. It doesn't even matter.
That's
so.
right.
All right. We're not going anywhere for a while.
I'm gonna put on my lederhosen.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.